Back to the daily grind. Thanks for checking out the channel. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
Don't be scared, homie. Paulo Costa's responding to Derek Brunson's PED accusations. Now, if you're wondering where the PED accusations come from, I mean, Paulo Costa looks like a goddamn Greek god. I mean, Derek Brunson's definitely not the first person to, make these accusations, but this happens, whenever you see somebody with a superior physique and, that's usually the first accusation. They say, oh, steroids. But me personally, I don't rock with that shit. I don't like people accuse other people of being on steroids that have never popped. You know what I'm saying? If you've never had one false steroid in your life, now, if you've even been popped once in your life, okay, you're gonna get the accusations. Like in Chris Cyborg's case, she's only technically popped dirty once, but people still look at her physique and say, oh, she's still using, and she has got popped once. So, even though she's being tested by USADA currently, she's not popping dirty, people still, call her, refer to her steroid use in the past. Well, now Paulo Costa, he hasn't been popped for steroids in the UFC, and Cyborg was out of the UFC too, and to our knowledge, he's never been popped outside of the UFC either. So for Derek Brunson, he said he's out. Derek Brunson, this is what Derek Brunson's tweet said. He said, 100% on the juice, not impressed at all, slow and gassy. Get some more fights first, not interested. Now, Paulo Costa, he has 3 UFC fights. 2 of those some people would say are against cans, or cans just meaning people that you really don't know about, or people that haven't done too well in the UFC. And his most recent win, his 3rd win in the UFC, coming over Johny Hendricks. That is his most notable, his most quality win, and some would argue, if that's really quality. This is Johny Hendricks, who's been looking bad, and he's at 185 pounds. He's a natural former welterweight champion. He's up at 185 pounds. Johny Hendricks has had weight, missing weight issues. Johny Hendricks, he's definitely in his prime, so some people wouldn't even really label that a quality win, but it is definitely Paulo's most quality win, as his first 2 wins in the UFC came to Weidman and Gareth McClellan. Gareth McClellan went 1-3 or 1-4 in the UFC, and Weidman is now, I'm pretty sure he's might be 1-3, because he's been fighting, he's been pretty active lately. Weidman, yeah, he's 1-3 in the UFC, and his last loss was to Paulo Costa. Now, Paulo Costa is knocking dudes out. He did knock out Weidman, and he also did finish Johny Hendricks, I believe, right in the 2nd round. I'm on UFC, but this is the thing though. Derek Brunson, yeah, he finished Johny Hendricks and Weidman in the 2nd round, and then he finished Gareth McClellan in the 1st round. So Paulo Costa's got 3 UFC fights. He's young. He looked really good in his last fight, but as I said, it was versus Johny Hendricks. Now he's calling out Derek Brunson, which is an interesting call out. Right after the fight, he called out Derek Brunson, and Derek Brunson is ranked 6th. So like Paulo Costa, he's definitely trying to shoot up there. He must feel like he's ready for all the contenders, because if you beat Derek Brunson, there's nowhere to go but up from there, fighting the top 5 guys from there. So he must feel like he's ready after beating Johny Hendricks, which I don't know. It is 3 knockouts. We seen Cody Garbrandt, how he got his title shot off of some knockouts. He got a title shot after a couple ranked knockouts, but Paulo Costa, Paulo Barachi, now he just changed his name to Paulo Costa. He's still unranked. Johny Hendricks was unranked at middleweight. His first 2 opponents were unranked at middleweight. So he's trying to go from unranked to Derek Brunson at top 6. And Derek Brunson, Derek Brunson has been getting this excuse from people like Luke Rockhold and other guys in the top 5. Derek Brunson is ranked 6th, and he's really one of the best middleweights in the world, Derek Brunson. But a lot of these guys are like, nah, I'm trying to fight up, not down. So Derek Brunson doesn't get those opportunities. Well, now Paulo Costa is looking to Derek Brunson for an opportunity, and he's like, you need some more fights. And see, this is the problem. Most people don't like when somebody tells someone else, oh, you need some more fights first. But it happens all the time. It literally happens all the time. Tyron Woodley just told that to Colby Covington, but that's not the first. I can't think off the top of my head, but I think Luke Rockhold even said that to Derek Brunson. And Derek Brunson's coming off of a knockout over Lyoto Machida. Derek Brunson's, you know, he was on a like 6-fight win streak. 5 of those knockouts. Derek Brunson's very experienced in the UFC. He's beat some of the top guys, fought some of the top guys. So he's like, I'm not about to, you know, fight this up-and-coming dude just because he called me out. And he made those accusations of being on PEDs. Well, Paulo Costa is using that to say, don't be scared. And this is interesting because I got to admit, this would be a fun fight. I would probably lean toward Derek Brunson, but I just think Derek Brunson's looking for a higher-ranked fight. He fought Lyoto Machida last, and before that, who did Derek Brunson? He knocked somebody out before that too, man. Derek Brunson is even though he's ranked 6, I believe he's underrated. I mean, what's going on with Chris Weidman? Who's Chris Weidman fighting next? You know what I'm saying? Why don't we got Derek Brunson versus Chris Weidman? I like that fight. And I'm fine with Paulo Costa versus Derek Brunson, but I'm just curious why he called out Derek Brunson at number 6 instead of somebody in the top 15, in the top, you know, in the top 10. He's shooting high. Paulo Costa did say he's going to be like the next Brazilian legend, he also said like Vitor Belfort and Tim Boetsch didn't want to fight either. But those guys were unranked, so I'm wondering why he's not calling out these guys in the top 15, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of guys in the middleweight top 10 through 15 he could call out, 7 through 15. Derek Brunson is a guy that probably isn't going to take the fight because I'm on Derek Brunson's UFC record. Check this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's 7-2 in his last 9 fights. And in those 7 wins, he's got wins over Ed Herman, Lorenz Larkin, Sam Alvey, Uriah Hall, Daniel Kelly, Lyoto Machida, Anderson Silva. One of his losses was to Anderson Silva, and a lot of people, pretty much 95% of the people, really think Derek Brunson won that fight. But they were in Brazil, and I think they were in Brazil, right? And Anderson Silva got his hand raised. Anderson Silva was sliding. Anderson Silva's a legend, and the judges gave that fight to Anderson Silva. So Derek Brunson could be 8-1 in his last 9 fights. He's fought the likes of Yoel Romero, Robert Whitaker. He was on a fucking 6-fight knockout spree. I mean, Paulo Costa's knocking dudes out right now, but Derek Brunson's been there, done that. He climbed his way up. He's climbing his way back up. I mean, I just don't see Derek Brunson taking the fight right now, and he even denied it. So now I just want to look at the top 15 of the middleweight because I'm fine with Paulo Costa calling him out, and Derek Brunson is probably going to take a little heat for turning the fight down as usual. That usually comes with, you know, whenever someone says, oh, he's not ready for me. But Derek Brunson's 33. Paulo Costa, you know, he's got a lot of time. Paulo Costa's only 26 years old. He's undefeated, 11-0. Derek Brunson's got what, 22 professional fights? So yeah, Derek Brunson's got double his fights. But I got the fucking UFC rankings, so this is why, because I'm fine, like I've said, I'm fine with the Derek Brunson versus Paulo Costa, but why not call out these guys in the UFC? Let's see, we got, in the middleweight division, we got Thiago Santos at 15, Brad Tavares 14, Machida 13, Krzysztof Jotko 12, Vitor Belfort 11. He said Vitor Belfort also turned down the fight. Uriah Hall 10, David Branch 9. What's up with David Branch? Kelvin Gastelum's already scheduled to fight Anderson Silva. So I like that he called out Derek Brunson. He could win that fight. I think that'd be a slugfest, but I would lean toward Derek Brunson. Derek Brunson's not looking like he wants to fight though. So in the top 5, who can Derek Brunson fight next? Chris Weidman. What about Jacare? What about Yoel Romero? Who are these guys gonna fight? I mean, we could see, you know, Derek Brunson could fight any of those guys. So I'm fine with whatever happens. The middleweight division should start shaking now that George St. Pierre's the official champion. Robert Whitaker's probably healed up from injury, so the champion, you know, will be fighting soon, hopefully. And even if GSP goes, you know, to like another division, like say welterweight, I don't think it'll stall the middleweight division because we already have an interim champion. Whitaker, if necessary, could defend the interim champion, or if GSP vacates, Robert Whitaker will be the champion and he'll defend the belt, probably versus Luke Rockhold or somebody like that. So it is what it is. I've said enough on this video. Paulo Costa's responding to Derek Brunson's PED accusations, and he's saying, don't be scared. It is what it is. I'm gonna try and get out one more video before work. Let the full-time family know. Fuck you, 10 men in the comments. I'm out.
Bye, Felicia.